All right, drivers, if you could load up, please, as we will get underway. Thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. By the way, for those of you that have access to FloRacing, the FloRacing team is going to put up some tributes to TJ throughout the week. One of those will include a QR code if you would like to donate to Cassie and his three sons, as obviously they will have a lot on their plate going forward. We ask that you please consider the man that gave pretty much everything to the drag race community, to the racing enthusiasts. We ask that you consider giving a little bit back to help his family in their time of need. The racing community always supports and props up each other. But we will get things underway here on day number 2, the day of qualifying for Roll Racing here at Texas 2K, brought to us by Summit Racing Equipment. Our first pair ready to go, sitting at the ready line. We will let them get the cars at the temperature they need, get thumbs up, and we will send them on their way. So our first pair out, David Perlman and Jency Fida. Fida in the New Jersey-based Supra will come out right-hand side. David Perlman out of Dallas, Texas, in the Lamborghini Huracan will come out of left-hand side. Perlman will go first, as we talked about earlier. About a 5-second window. Left side of the racetrack will go first, and then right side will follow. So as soon as Perlman gives us the thumbs up and we have everybody in position ready to go, then we will send left side. Again, the exit off the racetrack is on the left side. That's why we send the left side first in qualifying. It is not side by side, meaning you are trying to beat your opponent, so to speak. The object here is the highest mile an hour you can lay down to be able to qualify. And again, there are probably a lot of competitors back there in the staging lanes that have butterflies in their stomachs, but excitement running through their veins as they are ready to make their laps to hopefully qualify and be a part of a very exclusive field. All right, before we get things started, please do not park any side-by-sides or golf carts or four-wheelers or even cars at the rear of the lanes, please. We need staging lanes open. All right, the thumbs up given. David Perlman is coming. The Huracan going to get clocked. Make sure that he gets the green. And off he goes to the top end. 214.04 miles an hour for David Perlman. Now, Jency Fida. And has problems, as it looks like he might not have gotten the turbo right where they wanted it because they were trying to break loose.
Hey, can someone tell him he's supposed to floor it at the green flag?
Yeah, it looks like the brake lights were on, so unfortunately he may not have gotten the turbo spooled where he wanted it. Coming by on the FloRacing feed, you can see there's some stuff coming off the right-hand side of the car flexing, so you might want to get some 200-mile-an-hour tape on it. But David Perlman lays down a shot, 214.04 to go right to the top. And that is a very impressive number to start with. So the mark has been set. The target has been placed. We'll get our next two ready. The Viper left side. A late entry. I do not have information on it yet. Casey Howitt coming up on the right side, and that was our best speed out of testing. 2:01.79 on the split. 2:01.37 at the top end. Here comes Casey. Casey went 2:35 in testing. What can the under? Oh, looks like he might have gotten out of it early. Yes, way early. That's why I stopped what I was saying. My apologies. 1:32 for Casey Howitt, as he may have found something he just didn't like, and instead of laying into it, decided, okay, we're going to come back and try it again. So a 2:14 and a 2:01.37.
Looks like we got a couple of twin turbo Vipers coming up next.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's really not bad. That's fair.
So a 2:14 and a 2:01 laid down so far. Casey, we will see back, as I mentioned, 2:35 in testing, so no doubt they want another shot at it. Zachary Tucker, Zach Westrom. Westrom left side, and the first of two Vipers we'll see here. Here comes the second one. Westrom out in front, and he goes 180 at the split. 2:08.30. What do we get out of the right side? 2:01.31 side by side 200s. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Your first side by side 200 mile an hour blast, and we're only in our third pair so far. Everybody bringing it right out of the gate.
Wild seeing those ACRs with the big wings in the back. It looks like the bottom of the rear is just dragging on the ground and the front is sticking way up. All that aero in the back for traction.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, just got the word. Zach Westrom, the left side, that 2:08 blast was disqualified. Did not stay in the speed zone that they needed to. It is imperative that you enter the speed zone at the correct speed. So now Jacob Edwards next. And Eric Montoya next will come up right side. Left side goes 163.31, right side 162.99, and it comes up good on both sides.
Yeah, little cradle thing is just fun.
So again, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately that 2:08 for Zach Westrom will not count, as he did not enter the speed box and maintain the correct speed that needed to be in order for the run to count. So Zach will have to come back around. Now, when we say disqualified, that means just the run, not the driver. So the car will come back, and they will make another shot at it, and Zach will try to keep it in the speed zone as necessary, as we do have an official out there that is shooting to make sure that you stay in the zone. And now we're finding out that right-hand side in the last pair also getting disqualified for not staying in the speed zone necessary. So we will follow along with our next pair. Edgar Montoya left side, Sterling Moss right-hand side. Edgar in the GTR left side out of Dallas, Moss right side out of Kylie, Texas in the Supra. Left side goes 172.11. Right-hand side will go 180.06. Wait to find out if both of them were in the speed zone that they needed to be, and if both runs will count. All right, so it comes back that both are okay. So both of those runs will count.
Wide on the second pass.
Looks like we will see our first Mustang coming up in our next pair.
Okay, cool. All right, that works.
All right, we got the radar gun on point, tracking all the way to the end of the start zone right here.
Jordan Cantor left side, Josh Lancott right side. Jordan off in the R8. The Mustang giving chase of Josh. 206.62 at the top end for Jordan. Josh Langtot in the Mustang goes 152.39. I'm waiting on clarification to make sure both sides are clean. And it looks like they are, so we will count both. The 206.62 will go into the top 3 speeds recorded so far. And our next pair ready. Mo Raspadea and Lou Carlisle. Mo goes 187.94 left-hand side in the R8. 208.35 for Lou Carlisle in the R8 out of New Mexico, right side. Now waiting to find out if they entered the speed zone correctly. If that 208 holds, then that will go to the number 2 spot. And it looks like we are good. So right-hand side will go to the number 2 qualifying spot. That brings up Alfredo Canales and Ricky Crossley. Crossley, who is your number 1 qualifier in the DCT drag racing class. He's going to lay it down here on the roll racing side. And he goes 216.37. That is your new number 1 qualifier if it holds. Right side. Canales slows to a 108.92.
And
now
the left lane,
if Ricky stays in the green area.
Ricky was going 62 at the start, 62.
So he is good.
Damn good.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, there is your new number 1 qualifier, Ricky Crossley. So now he holds the number 1 spot in not just drag racing, but in roll racing as well. The question is, for how long? All right, roll race competitors, if you have not come to the lanes yet or you want to make another shot, lanes 7 and 8 are open for you. Roll race competitors, if you have not made your shot yet or you are not in the lanes yet, you want to come back for your second shot, lanes 7 and 8 are open. Again, this is open qualifying. So Ricky Crossley, currently hanging on to number 1. Another racer doing battle in both drag racing and roll racing, Christine Dodworth, right side. Cesar Savignon, left side, going 190.08. Christine Dodworth, 223.04 miles an hour. Holy cow, are you kidding me? Now we just have to wait and see if it'll stay.
That was a 61 mile an hour start in the right lane, 42 in the left. But Christine started at 61 and went 223, our new number 1 qualifier.
Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Christine Dodworth, your new number 1 qualifier. Also,
and by the way, girls racing is super cool, especially when they go 223.
Yep. Here comes our next one. By the way, Christine Dodworth went 214 in drag racing yesterday for qualifying. Carlos Corvilla and Chris Bixler. Corvilla left side will go 188.17 in the R8 out of Florida. Right side, Bixler will light the boards at 195.95 miles an hour in the GTR out of Texas. Now we're just waiting to find out if both of them are clean. And it looks like we are good, so both of those speeds will count.
Yo, if you give me like 5 minutes, I can fix this rocker.
Joseph Ahumada and Johnny Montegron. Monaghan out of San Antonio, Texas, right side, in the Acura Integra. The R8 will go down left side. That's the white car. Joseph Ahumada going down left side. See the Acura try to get the speed down. Left side will complete the lap at 187 flat. Right side. The Acura will follow a little bit of smoke at the top end to go 168.06. Now we're waiting to see if both of those are clean. If they entered the speed trap at the correct speed.
Looks like we got a GTR coming up in the left lane, and longtime TX2K supporter and friend Todd Knoll in his Porsche GT3 in the right lane. The right lane's a shifted car. I know he rose gears, so super cool car and the fastest Porsche GT3 that I know of.
So it looks like both the speeds on the current pair that just went down are going to stand. You see the track crew out on the FloRacing feed. They are checking that right-hand side as we had some smoke come out from the Acura. So what they're doing is going out on the right-hand side of the racetrack and then running them with their shoes to make sure that everything is still sticky. If it was any kind of slick, then we would stop, make sure that we get the correct track equipment out there to correct it, and then we would be back underway. So right now it looks like the spotters are going to give us the all clear sign, and we will go back to racing action. Matthew Hansen GTR comes up next, left-hand side. Here comes the Porsche GT3 Turbo. Todd Knoll and Matthew Hansen. Hansen will get there first at only 110 as he has problems.
Come on, Todd. I was just talking about how cool your car is, then you miss a shift. Jesus. You can do better than that. I'm just giving him a hard time. He's a buddy of mine. Looks like we got a, I can't tell. I think that's a Superleggera on the left and a GTR on the right coming up. Obviously, the Lambo's turboed.
Left-hand side using all the rev limiter. And a lot of smoke at the top end after going 187 on the right side, still proceeding down to go 203.56. But we are on hold right now as we're going to check that left-hand side after going 187. And now both of them under review to make sure they entered the speed box at the right time.
How many 200-mile-an-hour qualifying passes do we have so far, Derek?
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, 203.56 for Juan Fernandez is solid. I'm just waiting to make sure that it's legit.
No, I'm asking you a question.
Oh, I didn't hear you. I apologize. I just thought you said a 200-mile-an-hour pass was good. I thought you were making a statement.
Many 200-mile-an-hour qualifying passes have we had in the first 15 or 20 minutes of qualifying?
So it looks like we have fluid at the transition on the racetrack. And to answer your question, Peter, I believe that makes the 7th 200-mile-an-hour pass. Now, keep in mind, one of them has been disqualified, but still quite a few of them so far. We have had side-by-side 200s already in one pair. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we're going to be on hold for just a minute or two while we clean it up the left side. As we saw the smoke, and at the transition from the racing surface to the shutdown, we have fluid present. So we're going to be on hold for just a minute. maybe more than a minute, but it's going to take us a few to get that taken care of. All right, so this one will probably take us a little bit, as it looks like the scrubber machine has also made its way out. So, folks, we're going to be down here for a little bit. So if you would like to grab yourself something to eat or drink, go say hi to our dozens of sponsors and supporters that are here on site, located right behind the grandstands. Don't forget to go grab your TX2K merchandise while we have this break in the action. So the report from the top end is either a very fine stream of oil, possibly coolant. Either way, we need to get it up. So it's going to take us a little bit. So Sinjin Varize may have some work ahead of them, as on a 187 mile an hour blast, unfortunately that car may have coughed something up. Now, they may have gotten lucky and it may have just puked out a little bit of coolant. We'll wait and see what comes back from the top end. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be down here for just a little bit, so if you would like to take this opportunity to go grab yourself something to eat or drink from the concession area, as well as visit our numerous sponsors that are here on site, including our own TX2K merchandise booth located right next to the 1320 video folks, and our presenting sponsor, Summit Racing Equipment. Go say hi to all the great people that have joined us to help make TX2K possible for 2025. Shake some hands, talk to people about your next round of upgrades to your car, truck, motorcycle, side-by-side, what have you. We've got a little bit of everything represented here at Texas Motorplex. And tell them thank you so much for their support of this great event. All right, folks, so the report from the top end is this one is going to take some time, probably about 20 to 30 minutes to get things cleaned up. So, again, you are welcome to keep your seats, but drivers, you can obviously unbuckle, get out of your safety gear, let it breathe a little bit. Grab yourself a beverage or something to drink, because obviously the sun is quite good right now. So we didn't want to make everybody stay where they were without giving you an update. So again, we're about 20 to 30 minutes from being hot on the racetrack once again. So we apologize for the inconvenience, but obviously the crew working hard at that top end. They'll have it cleaned up as soon as possible. All right, attention in the pits, attention in the pits. Sunna Data Boy. Sunna Data Boy, I need you to the race control section of the tower, room 208, please. Sunna Data Boy. Sunna Data Boy, I need you to the second floor of the tower, room 208, race control, please.
check. Copy, copy. Check, check. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, we can make room. Why not? What are you trying to do? Oh, cool. That might be tricky getting in someone else's shot. We're both pointing on the same. Yeah. Okay. It's tight. Oh yeah, it's gonna be real tight. Not saying it's impossible, but it will be tight. Okay. No problem.
Unleash your engine with Adrenaline Racing Oils. 100% PAO-based oil, the Adrenaline R Series is designed to unlock extra horsepower. Free up your engine to perform its best. Top-performing oils with FR3 nanocarbon technology. The same friction reducer used by top racers. Designed for any engine. Lab-formulated, dyno-tested, track-proven. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Winning doesn't just happen. You have to engineer it. You have to test it and make it better than it was the last time. Our engineers have the passion to create the parts you need, the way you need them to be, again and again and again. We've led this game for over 40 years, and we design, refine, and perfect every valve train part worthy of the winner's circle.
We drive performance. We drive passion. A background in drag racing. And a future in all forms of motorsports. Because success in one sport isn't enough. Pushing ourselves to be the best. Climbing every mountain. Topping every peak. Until you see Fuel Tech everywhere.
Unleash your engine with Adrenaline Racing Oils. 100% PAO-based oil, the Adrenaline R Series is designed to unlock extra horsepower. Free up your engine to perform its best. Top-performing oils with FR3 nanocarbon technology. The same friction reducer used by top racers. Designed for any engine. Lab-formulated, dyno-tested, track-proven. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
So far, I believe in 2 runs yesterday, you laid down a 9-teen pass on the first one, probably a checkout run. You followed that with an 850. So are you happy with an 850, or are you, like you said, you want to try to get it 1 digit lower? You'd like to get something in a 7.
I'm happy with the 850 with where we had the car at as we went down the track yesterday. It was only day 1. We still have the whole week ahead of us and a lot to go.
Yeah, so 2 more full days of qualifying. Try and chip away at it, and hopefully you'll get your time slip that you want. But obviously, I think the other thing that a lot of people would probably classify just as high on their want-to-do ladder or their bucket list is getting that first-round win light on Sunday. Have you thought about that yet, or are you kind of putting that off a little bit?
Honestly, I'm taking it 1 day at a time. That's Sunday's problem.
All right, I will not torture her any further, especially considering that we are about to go back to racing action. So, ladies and gentlemen, just one of a couple hundred racers we have here in the drag racing segment of the program. Again, we will be back for drag racing tomorrow on Wednesday as well as on Saturday. So they have 2 full days of qualifying yet ahead of them, and then Sunday final elimination. So, Son of Data Boy, we will see in the, I believe, is it the GTR class or the DCT class? Because I know they qualify in both. Which one? So the DCT class, the dual clutch transmission class. So we'll be back on the racetrack here in just a few minutes. Drivers, go ahead and start getting suited up, please. Drivers, go ahead and start getting suited back up. We'll go back to roll racing in just a few minutes here at TX2K. All right, and we are officially back underway. Left side didn't make the call. Right-hand side, Jonathan Glavico said, screw it, I'll go ahead and go down the right side by myself. And goes 195.26 miles an hour in the yellow R8. That is right in line with what he laid down during qualifying, 195.20. So he is literally within 0.6 of a mile an hour. I'm not sure if I've ever said that before. 0.06 of a mile an hour. Either way, it's consistent. Well, 195.2, 195.2, great. It should get him into the program based on the bump spot of 188 last year. It looks like we will go back to side by side. Well, close to that. Remember, we will send left side first by about 5 seconds, and that's because the left side has the exit, and it'll keep the cars away from each other. Brandon Fruja and Clint Davis. Brandon in that beautiful Supra out of Pflugerville, Texas, and Davis chasing in the McKinney, Texas-based Coyote. 173 miles an hour for Brandon. Clint will stop the clocks with the V8 at 172.90. So literally within 1 mile an hour of each other. As we see the slow-mo for the Mustang on the FloRacing page. So unfortunately, it looks like Clint Davis and the Mustang may have entered the speed trap a little too hot. They disqualified his run. Left side will stand. Now Bobby Hoffman left side in the R8 out of Maryland. Tag Marlowe out of Katy, Texas in the R8 will give chase. Left side will stop the timers at 157.59. Now Hoffman will watch as 215 miles an hour right-hand side for Tag Marlowe in that stealth black R8 out of Texas, but no good. Entered the speed traps a little too hot, above 65 mile an hour in the threshold, so that run is disqualified. Bobby Hoffman will keep the 157 though. Mark Blackwell, Johnny Strings next. Blackwell, left-hand side in the yellow, I believe that is a Lambo. Right-hand side, the GTR. 196.51 and 196.82. Now, to find out if they entered the speed traps correctly. We are good, ladies and gentlemen. Side by side, 196 mile an hour shots. They will both count, and based on our trap speed for the bump spot last year, they should both be good to get in. Once again, roll race competitors, the lanes are open if you would like to come back. Roll race competitors, lanes are open if you would like to come back. Mark James, Cameron Fisher next. Fisher in the Mustang. Mark James in the Huracan. And the Huracan will clip 200, 203.58 the Mustang. 202 and gets a little bit out of shape. So we are on hold here, ladies and gentlemen. Stand by. And right-hand side, unfortunately, the Mustang is disqualified, entered the speed trap. A little too hot. As you saw the Mustang pull the parachute and immediately make the move to the center of the racetrack, but he gathered it up, just went a little too quick. Watch it again on FloRacing. And you see some parts and pieces coming out of the back of the previous pair. So unfortunately, Cameron Fisher, as I mentioned, entering the speed trap a little too hot and ended up that 202 is going to be disqualified. The 203.58, though, for Mark James, I believe is good. Is that correct? Michelle? The left side 203 is good, right? It has green light. Thank you. So Mark James in the Huracan will go onto the sheet above 200. 203.58 should put him into the top 5. And we had reports from the previous pair going down that there might be some debris at the top end, so we're sending our spotters over the wall to check for it. As soon as they give us the all clear, we'll go right back to drag racing, as in with a roll start. All right, so we have the report top end is clear. Our next pair will get ready to go. Jaron Cordova left-hand side in the Supra out of New Mexico. Being followed by Kenny Tran right side in the Huracan. Left side will go 160.58. Right side will go 187.12. And both good? Both entered the speed trap correctly around that 65-mile-an-hour zone. So both of them will count. Now, Jaron's 160, it's hard to say whether it'll stay or not because, again, the 188 was our bump last year, but, again, we have already had some DQs this year, so it's too early in the game to find out if 160 will hold. 187 for Kenny Tran. That one has a good chance of making it. Once again, roll race competitors, lanes are open if you would like to come back for a second shot or your first shot at the racetrack. Again, roll race competitors, this is an open session. We will not call you back for a second or third session. So please come on back when you're ready. Both of our next pair on the way. Manny Costales left side, Oscar Morales right side. 167 left side. Morales was in the 198 zone last time. 201.48. And I'm waiting on the clarification. We got thumbs up left side, thumbs up right side. 201.48. That is a new personal best at TX2K for Oscar Morales, as he laid down a pair of 198s matching what he laid down last year. So he will have a good chance of making it into the top or the top 2 fields. 167 for Manny is also given the thumbs up. He entered the speed trap correctly. So the Miami, Florida-based Evo will go on the sheet, and we'll bring our next pair around. Once again, competitors, we have had the question come up, so I will reiterate so that is clear. Again, the qualifying session is an open one, so as soon as you are ready, come on back if you are not happy or you want to improve on what has been laid down. So again, I gave you at least a target point based on last year. Our Elite 8 was all 200-mile-an-hour cars. As a matter of fact, the bump was a 208.94. To qualify for the sport class, you had to be going 188.08 for the bottom spot of 16. So that should give you an idea of at least what it took to run last year. Now, it's probably, in my opinion, a little bit warmer this year. But still, I would come back and make another shot. If your vehicle is up to it, you've got it cooled off, and the driver is ready. Tyler Mixon, Nicole Vila. Vila left side out in front in the Huracan out of Las Vegas. Tyler giving chase out of Georgia. 190.97 left side. 203.47 on the opposite side. And we got dual thumbs up. That means both entered the speed traps correctly. Another 200-mile-an-hour hot rod has entered the chat. So Tyler will go 203.47, 190.97 for Nicole. All right, here comes our next pair of cars, ladies and gentlemen. Sanir Ghostai and Leo Ferrari. Left side, Sanir will go 156.27. Right side, Ferrari on a good lick will go 205.70. Sanir with a little bit of smoke at the top end, left side. And we have double thumbs up, yet another 200-mile-an-hour ride. So once again, both of those runs deemed okay. Looks like top end is cleared as we watch on the FloRacing feed that we're waiting on our next pair to get dialed in. A little bit of a burnout going on right hand side to get those tires warm. The Mickey Thompsons on the Supra, the right hand drive Supra on the right hand side, and the red Supra on the left side. That's Gensi Fida. Off the brakes and on the loud pedal. Ahad Asmirzada, right-hand side and the right-hand drive giving chase. 201.69 for Ahad, and Gensi going 189.73. Which side is down, right side or left? Right-hand side, unfortunately, Ahad 201 will not count. Entered the speed trap a little too hot. So the 201 will not count, but the 189.73 will. So Gensi. So, ladies and gentlemen, so far, now there are a few of them that have been disqualified, but we have had over a dozen cars go above 200 miles an hour so far, and we are only about 45 minutes into this qualifying session of actual run time. All right, so it looks like we have a car stopped at the top end of the racetrack, so we are on a momentary hold, ladies and gentlemen, while we wait for that to be cleared. So we have already had some very good speeds clocked. Unfortunately, the car that made the most noise in testing had some issues during their run, so we will see at least a few cars come back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so not only do we have a car at the top end, but we have a car that decided to visit the sand trap at the top end. So I know normally the people don't necessarily come to Texas for the beaches, but somebody did here. So that'll take us a few minutes to get that pulled back out of the sandbox, and we will get that cleaned up before we go back to action. So we have a few minutes. Drivers, you can loosen your chin straps on your helmets, but hopefully it will only take us a few minutes to get the car out of the sandbox.
Unleash your engine with Adrenaline Racing Oil's 100% PAO base oil. The Adrenaline R Series is designed to unlock extra horsepower. Free up your engine to perform its best. Top performing oils with FR3 nanocarbon technology. The same friction reducer used by top racers. Designed for any engine. Lab formulated, dyno tested, track proven. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Winning doesn't just happen. You have to engineer it. You have to test it and make it better than it was the last time. Our engineers have the passion to create the parts you need, the way you need them to be, again and again and again. We've led this game for over 40 years, and we design, refine, and perfect every valve train part worthy of the winner's circle.
We drive performance. We drive passion. A background in drag racing. And a future in all forms of motorsports. Because success in one sport isn't enough. Pushing ourselves to be the best. Climbing every mountain. Topping every peak. Until you see Fuel Tech everywhere.
Unleash your engine with Adrenaline Racing Oil's 100% PAO base oil. The Adrenaline R Series is designed to unlock extra horsepower. Free up your engine to perform its best. Top performing oils with FR3 nanocarbon technology. The same friction reducer used by top racers. Designed for any engine. Lab formulated, dyno tested, track proven. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
outside, soars! They are Calder Cup champions!
All right, folks, again, as we get closer to going back to action, I will keep you posted here as we are still on a break while we try to get the car out of the top end sand traps. As soon as I see that happening, we will let you know so drivers can get suited back up. Spectators, you'll have time to get back to your seats. Roll race competitors, once again, if you would like to come back to the staging lanes to make another shot to get into the field or improve upon your time that you've already laid down, lanes are open. Come on back. So once again, my roll racing segment for TX2K brought to us by Summit Racing Equipment. Lanes are still open for my roll racing contingent. If you would like to come back, feel free to do so.
Unleash your engine with Adrenaline Racing Oils 100% PAO based oil. The Adrenaline R Series is designed to unlock extra horsepower. Free up your engine to perform its best. Top performing oils with FR3 nanocarbon technology. The same friction reducer used by top racers. Designed for any engine. Lab formulated, dyno tested, track proven. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Winning doesn't just happen. You have to engineer it. You have to test it and make it better than it was the last time. Our engineers have the passion to create the parts you need, the way you need them to be, again and again and again. We've led this game for over 40 years, and we design, refine, and perfect every valve train part worthy of the winner's circle.
We drive performance. We drive passion. A background in drag racing. And a future in all forms of motorsports. Because success in one sport isn't enough. Pushing ourselves to be the best. Climbing every mountain. Topping every peak. Until you see Fuel Tech everywhere.
Unleash your engine with Adrenaline Racing Oils 100% PAO based oil. The Adrenaline R Series is designed to unlock extra horsepower. Free up your engine to perform its best. Top performing oils with FR3 nanocarbon technology. The same friction reducer used by top racers. Designed for any engine. Lab formulated, dyno tested, track proven. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
You save your lunch money for. Welcome to the High Limit Room. This is what you save your lunch money for. Welcome to the High Limit
All right, I got cars fired. Starting to warm back up. Once again, spectators, thank you so much for bearing with us as we're going to get back underway here. Once again, shout out to all of the people that are watching and or listening to us on FloRacing. Thank you so much for bearing with us as we will get back underway here with a GTR and an S550 chassis Mustang waiting their turn at the Texas Motorplex and the all-concrete quarter mile. As I mentioned yesterday, a very unique racetrack, the first all-purpose concrete racetrack built in 1986. At that point, a lot of drag strips only had 30 to 60 feet of concrete, and they literally broke the mold with this place. They used a brand new design to put this concrete racetrack together, because up until then, the only time that you could have an all-concrete racetrack was at airports. But the problem with all concrete is expansion joints needed, because you make cuts in the concrete to be able to allow them to adapt to cold and warm changing temperature conditions. So in this case, this track was built with what they call post-tension. There are 3 giant cables here at the Texas Motorplex, located in Ennis, Texas. For those of you that see it on the live stream, where it is 535 feet above sea level, added into the air that is right now dealing with us, and we're about somewhere between 2,600 to 3,000 feet of corrected density altitude, meaning 3,000 feet above sea level for air conditions. Not horrible, but not exactly perfect. Once you start to get in the, I'd say 500 to 1,000 feet of altitude, that is about where you want it to be. And if you are lucky, you can get below sea level. That's perfect, as long as there's enough heat in the racetrack. Depending on the class, you want something above about 55 to 70 degrees. Right now, the corrected density altitude here at Dallas Ennis / Texas Motorplex is 2,713 feet above sea level. Now, from Gainesville, Florida, where I'm at, that's about May to June weather. The difference is water grains is 76, which is not bad. It's borderlining starting to get into too much moisture in the air. And the thing about water is you can't compress it. You would much rather have oxygen in the air, and that is something that your engine will appreciate more than having water grains in it. So it looks like we are just about to send our next pair. As soon as we get the all clear, we will do so. So that beautiful blue GTR looking at the near side of your screen, right side of the racetrack, and the grayish silver DMT-backed S550 chassis Mustang, meaning they were built from 2015 through 2023. You see a little bit of everything, from the all-wheel drive GTR near side to the rear-wheel drive V8-powered Mustang, most likely with the Coyote on board. That is the modern 5-liter, 300 cubic inch displacement setup. And looks like we are just about ready. They are giving them the signal, roll up the windows, make sure everything is good. And we will get thumbs up and send them on their way. Left side gets to go first by about 5 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Again, the turnoffs of the racetrack are to the left side, and that's the reason in qualifying we will send them down separately. So Anthony Espinosa, the Texas resident, will take his Mustang down left side. And he is rolling into the power. Here comes Hector Tejada going down the right side. Mustang will stop the timers at 150. The GTR will stop the clocks at 189.59, and we have thumbs up on both sides, meaning both drivers entered the speed traps at the right speed. Now the GTR late on the parachute, just waiting to make sure they turn off the top end. So the 149.95 for Anthony Espinola, and Hector going 189.59. So both of those runs will count. Just waiting to make sure that both drivers exit the racetrack. And we will send our next pair. And it looks like we do get both cars off the track. Here comes our next pair, Defane Land and Nick Booth. Booth in the GTR, Land in the R8. Land goes 179.28, it looks like. Parachute out. 200.25 miles an hour for Nick Booth in the Colorado-based GTR. Now we're waiting to see, and we got thumbs up on both sides. So both drivers going through at the correct speed. That now makes 14 cars that have eclipsed the Texas Motorplex distance at 200 miles an hour or more. And we are just getting started. So the 200 should put Nick in the top field right now, based on the fact that we do have a couple of disqualifications, but may slot himself down into the second field based on where the bump spot will be. But our next one will be the Audi R8, the white car going down left side with no rear bumper cover. You see the turbos poking their heads out. That is Brandon Johnson. Fabricio Cordoba will come down the opposite side in the Miami, Florida-based Viper. 111 miles an hour for Brandon Johnson as he has problems. Now here comes the Viper. Cordoba, one of the drivers that laid down a very stout run in testing. Can he do it here? 2:16.47, and we got thumbs up. We do, 2:16.47. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. That is going to go into the top three. $2:16.47 for Fabricio and the Viper out of Miami. That should give him the number 1 or number 2 spot on the qualifying sheet for the moment. Watch it one more time on FloRacing. You'll see it very little bit of a bounce in the transition, and then you see the gear shifts, but it stays right in the middle of the racetrack and makes quick work of that last little bit of distance. It's amazing how fast they're going, and you see it just literally rip through the last eighth of a mile. The Huracan of David Perlman laid down the quickest time so far, but hits the blocks at the top end on that run. So he got into the block, so we'll have to wait for an official ruling, but watching the FloRacing stream, the car made a move to the center line and got the blocks at the top end. So unfortunately for Perlman, that will DQ the run. Watch it one more time here on FloRacing. So you can see the car start to move towards the center as it gets to the center part of the racetrack. Now it's going to make a big move right here. And actually it looks like it might have just gone next to the blocks and the air might have caught him and pulled him up. So I'm going to wait for an official ruling on that run. So Perlman may actually get that 188.70 speed back, as the car made such a violent move to the center that it looked like on first glance at speed collected the blocks, but then watching the replay where it was slowed down a little bit on the FloRacing channel, that's just one of the many options that they throw in there, as well as, like I mentioned earlier, some of the great stuff we're watching now from the pit area, as well as interviews, talking to some of our great sponsors, etc. So it looks like Perlman may actually get to keep that run. We're waiting for the top end to let us know. Looks like he did not cross. But because the blocks did come up, we are going to send the crew to make sure that there is no remnants of the reflectors from the center, because those reflectors, if they do get shattered, can be very sharp, so we want to make sure that we clean that up. So we'll be down here for just a minute or two while we sweep the top end. Now this shouldn't be as long of a delay, ladies and gentlemen, as it was last time. Again, this is just a matter of making sure that the area by where the blocks are is cleaned up. And again, because the car didn't actually contact them, the amount of cleanup time should be significantly less. So should be down here for just a few. We should have the top end ready to go, so drivers, get yourselves ready once again as we're about to go back to action. All right, looks like William Calhoun and Andrew Hawkins are next. Left side, William Calhoun, who made 11 runs during practice, has been in the 141 to 144 range. And Andrew Hawkins on the right-hand side in the right-hand drive Skyline goes 140.84 for Calhoun. The Skyline motors through at 168.41. And it looks like we have thumbs up on both sides, so both speeds will count. Calhoun making his 12th trip down the racetrack today. Obviously, the rinse and repeat and cool it, fuel it, and return it obviously works for William Calhoun, making the most of his roll racing experience. Hawkins in the car that, according to what Peter told me, is possibly the first ever Australian car shipped over for Texas 2K. Lays down a 168.41 blast in the 1993 Skyline. We'll get our next pair set in the right spot. Here comes our next pair. It's a pair of R8s. Left side, Curtis Adams in the blue car. Right side, Ryan Daka in the white car. The blue car through the top end. 200.64 miles an hour with both chutes out. Now, what can Ryan do? On the right side, he'll lay down a 206.33 miles an hour. And both of them are good. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, hands together. Side by side, 200 mile an hour plus passes. And that will mark number 16 and 17 on cars that have eclipsed 200 miles an hour today on day number 2 at Texas 2K 2025. Our next pair getting lined up. As this time we will put an R8 and an RSTT next to each other. A pair of Audis getting ready. The RS going first, making a little bit of a move towards the center, but hanging on to it. And to the top end goes 137 miles an hour with the shootout. Right side, Mario Inona goes 181 even, and we have 2 thumbs up, so both will count. They both entered the speed traps correctly. Unfortunately, no driver information left-hand side. May have been a late tech entry that we did not get a card on yet. Right-hand side, Mario Inona out of Elizabeth, New Jersey will go in at 181. So it looks like we will have another GTR versus Mustang battle. Josh Langtot out of Heath, Texas in the Mustang right side. And Javier Maldonado out of Albuquerque, New Mexico in the GTR left side. So a 6-cylinder versus an 8-cylinder in our next matchup. It looks like we may be down for just a minute while we check a sensor out. Racetrack is okay, just may have a mile-an-hour sensor that is not picking up correctly. So we'll be down for a minute or two while we check that. Give us just a minute. See the track crew coming out on the, for the people that are here on site as well as the FloRacing feed. You see some of our TX2K crew coming out to make sure everything is working correctly, as well as checking to make sure the surface is okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so it looks like we are going to be down for some track prep here. 10 to 15 minutes is what I've been told. So, spectators, you have a little bit of time. If you would like to go grab yourself something to eat or drink, visit our TX2K merchandise booth, as well as some of our great people that are here on site. There are dozens of manufacturers, vendors, and sponsors that are here.
Unleash your engine with Adrenaline Racing Oils, 100% PAO-based oil. The Adrenaline R Series is designed to unlock extra horsepower. Free up your engine to perform its best. Top-performing oils with FR3 nanocarbon technology. The same friction reducer used by top racers. Designed for any engine. Lab-formulated, dyno-tested, track-proven. Hot Shot Secret, powered by science.
Winning doesn't just happen. You have to engineer it. You have to test it and make it better than it was the last time. Our engineers have the passion to create the parts you need, the way you need them to be, again and again and again. We've led this game for over 40 years, and we design, refine, and perfect